Oh, hi, Yuri. It's time. Hello, Elp. How are you doing today? We are finally ready to do the last part of Signalis. Yeah, we've been doing this for quite a few weeks now, haven't we? So, well, anyways, assuming I actually managed to kill the boss so we can figure out which ending I got. It would be funny if I couldn't clear the boss, actually. I mean, it wouldn't be funny, but it would be a little sad. We'll do our best, though. Hello, Stick. Hello, Chaplain. Hello, Suraxa. How are we doing today? Hello, Felony Ferret. How are we doing today? Meow meow too too. Hello, Paul. Hello, Winch. How are you doing today? All right. I legitimately do not know how long this is going to take us. Let me see if I equipped myself. And then we're just gonna fucking gun it. Ugh. I'm kind of dreading this. Because this is probably gonna take more skill than I actually have in this game to do this. Okay, no more healing item. Okay, wait, what do I have this equipped? Okay. I do have my my emergency healing thingy equipped. Okay, okay. Well, good thing you check that, because that's not the... Wait. That's not the correct ammo. 16mm, do I have any? Oh, okay, I do. Okay, let me make sure my weapons are full up. Already loaded. Oh, and I grabbed the wrong ammo for that one too. That's beautiful. I'm good. Just finished getting everything planned for Christmas. That's exciting. What do you have plans? Please tell us. 8mm. Hi Ria, how are you doing today? 8mm. There we go. I saw you plant an Undertale stream. Is that first time playing? It is in the sense that I've opened the game before for like 10 minutes and just died, and that's about my experience with Undertale. Hello Jay, how are you doing today? I do know some things about Undertale, but not much. Okay, we've got that sorted out. So I think we are good to go. But yeah, the schedule for next week is already up. We'll be playing Elden Ring. Thank you to Paul for getting that from the Throne wish list, so we can start on that as a replacement to Dark Souls 1 while I still continue to calm down the molding from Dark Souls 1. Eventually we'll go back to it, I just don't know when. And we'll be starting a Baldur's Gate 3 meme run, because I fucking love Baldur's Gate and I want to do some sort of stream content. And we'll be starting Undertale as a replacement for Signalis, since it's very technically a horror game according to Steam, so close enough. Let's make Yuri do a genocide run on I, like it says in the title, I'm gonna play that game however I want. I don't know how I'm gonna play it yet, but we'll know once I start. I know you can be a pacifist. The genocide run, there's some other options. I don't know what we're gonna go with. We'll see how it feels once I start. Really looking forward to it. Beware of backseating when you play that game. Yeah, no doubt. I know that's a game a lot of people are very crazy about and have a lot of opinions about. So we'll just try to enjoy it for what it is. Alright. This is the end. Leave forever. I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll be back when I die, but close enough. Just a sec. I need the flashlight. Oh shoot, I don't have a flashlight. Okay, well fine, we're just walking through the dark then. That's fine too. Just go with the flow when you play it. That's my plan. Adler's note. All efforts to contain this illness have been in vain. All the Gestalt workers have succumbed to it, leaving only dark shadows on walls and floors where they died. And soon, all of us, the replica, will have lost our senses and turned to writhing masses of flesh. I now believe it was not an infectious disease, nor some form of poison or radiation. It was a slow corruption of reality itself. As I've relived the same cycle over and over, each time details changed. Things were twisted, added, removed. How long until it all turns to nothing but noise? That's ominous. But yeah, if you remember throughout the playthrough, there were like shadows on the floor or like ash or something. And that's what he's talking about there. A red dream. A crashed ship. A strange gate. A hole in the ground. An island beyond reach. Memories from other lives. Dreams of suffering and loneliness. A promise. A search for someone lost. I saw her in the red emptiness, waiting for me. We had made a promise. As the memories of a stranger rushed into my mind, I felt the borders of myself blur. Now I can no longer tell where Falka ends and Elster begins. So a lot of people get very confused about this particular note. But basically what this just means is Falka's memories were being overwritten with Elster's memories. That's what this means. It's not as open to interpretation as it seems. Stop. You must turn back. There's nothing for you there. You've tried so many times, and you failed every time. Don't... Oh, sorry, this was supposed to be Adler. Okay, let me restart that. You must turn back. There is nothing for you there. You've tried so many times, and you failed every time. Don't you see that you're ruining everything? This is your final warning, Adler. There we go. Sorry. Falka's memory. We were dancing to that song they start the broadcast with. We fell asleep watching that movie we had seen before so many times. If only I could take us back to that time when we were happy. These memories are mine now. Poor Adler. Falka's into another woman. It's been a bit of a mess, so everyone decided to do their own little things, but then changed their minds. So now I've planned the dinner lunch and where everyone is going and the decorations. So getting chicken gammon, stuffing, carrots, potatoes, Yorkshire puddings, and all the other typical stuff. I'm going to get them to try the crispy Brussels sprouts. I love crispy Brussels sprouts. And yes, I'm avoiding reading the Undertale comments because I really don't know all that much about that game aside from like the premise of the endings. And I don't want to be spoiled. Hello, Elp. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're doing well. Why did you return? There's nothing for you here. She'll never dance with us again, no matter what we do. She doesn't even want us anymore. Both of us, we are incomplete. Let us become whole again. Okay, let me try to... Okay. Remember the controls. Okay. I've never used this weapon before. Oh, right. Okay, shit. Let me... Here we go. Do I need to... Yeah. Okay, there we go. And we can pick up some stuff here. We're gonna... There we go. Oops, okay, I forgot that was a thing. That's fine. There we go. I think I ran out of bullets on this thing. 30. Oh no, did I destroy the wrong ammo? Okay, well, whatever. That's 16. Okay, so we'll destroy this one, because I don't need that. Let me pick up some stuff. We still have our emergency thing, so that's good. Can't carry anymore. Excuse me, I am very busy right now. Can you please... Okay. Okay, so we ate that at some point. That kind of sucks. Okay, well, we got to the last thing, but I ran out of ammo. Okay, we're gonna need to redo the inventory. That's annoying. Hello, Pat. How are you doing today? Okay. Stick was here earlier. Okay. Okay, so I need... No, it's not right. I thought I fixed that. Maybe I didn't hit save. Okay, so that does not hold enough ammo, so we're just gonna get rid of that. Okay, so I need 8mm. Wait, is that right? Is there a different one? Did I get thrown off? Okay, that's the correct one for that. So that's fine. That's fine. We're gonna take that in advance this time. So we already have the inventory space. I wonder if this just like one-shots her faces, because if it does, I can just take that. Probably not, though. Shotgun. We could take the 12mm. You know, I think there's a lot of ammo for the pistol in there, so maybe I'll take the pistol. Pistol, submachine gun. Pistol, submachine gun, I think. I think that's right. Let's just double check. Okay, that wasn't even full, so good thing I checked. Let's grab some more of that ammo. Or, okay, that was all the ammo for that one we had. Already loaded. Okay. Let's give this another try. Hopefully it's a little more efficient. And I don't face tank as much stuff because I actually pay attention. Okay. We can do this. Nice speedrun. Oops, that was not the correct spot. Okay, let me... Okay, please aim correctly. Okay, wait. I was just seeing if there was any healing items sitting around. Okay, that's just the spear. Not what I meant to pick up. Okay, it's gone. It's for the shotgun. We do not have the shotgun. Okay. I guess she was just waiting for us to do that. That's fair. Shit. Okay, do your thing, do your thing, do your thing. Shit, that was not the final. Okay. HP's looking fine. Shit. Shit, I thought she went down, but she didn't. I can't see. That's not ammo. Okay, which reloaded? Okay, that was that. That's cool. Okay, wait, let me change weapons. Do I still... Okay, I don't. Is it not gonna... Okay, it's just gonna be a jerk. Okay, this is getting stressful. Give me a moment here. Hello, hon. How are you doing today? Fuck. Oh, there we go. Whew. Whew. Only took 2 tries. Fuck yeah. Whew. I was actually so stressed out. I'm sorry I was quiet. My heart was beating so fast. Whew. GG boys. GG. GG. I'm not good at games like this. That was so stressful. And the resource management. Whew. Okay. Ulster 512. Now we are 1. I've been waiting for this for a long time. once again. Oh, sorry, that was him. You've returned. Are you really willing to go through with this once more? You've seen what happens. This world cannot take much more. This may be our last chance. Thank you for the GGs. If you go back, it'll all fall apart. I can't let that happen. You selfish monster. Damn. Hate when that happens. Ulster is really just giving this dude the middle finger. You'll destroy everything. So what do you guys think is gonna happen once he reaches the ship this time? Do you think her arm will break off again? Or maybe something else? Penrose briefing, phase 2. Start of decrypted transmission. By our calculations, 1,500 cycles of mission time will have passed when you receive this message. Congratulations, comrade. By now you should have become fully acclimatized to your new life on board your ship. As you approach the Oort cloud, your search for new worlds will begin. Utilizing the long-range sensors, you'll scout for valuable resources, habitable worlds, or signs of alien life. Remember to rely on your replica to assist you in maintaining your vessel. We all wish you great success in your mission. We all wish you great success in your mission. Sorry. End of decrypted transmission. Okay. Thank you for the gifted subs, kiddo. Paul. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, Prissy. How are you doing today? Thank you so much. Oops. Oopsies.
Thank you, kiddo.
I'll take a short water break while I wait for the alerts to finish so I can continue reading the note. Thank you so much. Oh my god, that I did not think I was going to be able to do that boss fight in 2 tries.
Thank you, kiddo.
That's why I pushed the stream back, or I made it early. If I knew I could do it that quickly, I would have just done it last stream, to be honest.
Thank you, kiddo.
But that's fine. Pretty well. Just been a sleepy day so far. Yeah, for me too. It's been rainy and cold.
Thank you, kiddo.
Sorry about the alert. No worries. I'm proud of myself. That was stressful. All right. Cycle 225. When I signed up for this mission, I just wanted to get away from everything. I was sick of rot fronts, of school, of the photo store, sick of the fake smiles and the whispering behind people's backs. Yeah, I'm sure. I know there's a bit of delay. It's just, it is like that. When I saw the photo of that soldier, I wondered who she was. Was she happy? Was her family proud of her? Did her comrades love her? Since we looked alike, could I have been like her? But in the end, I just wanted to leave. Nothing I had done or made ever meant anything to anyone, so why bother? Here, I'm finally free. I get to be by myself and to do what I want. I can finally be happy. That is such a bittersweet note. Garbage bags. In the end, we didn't have the strength to dispose of them anymore. Isn't that sad? I think that's really sad. Cycle 648. Talked some more to the Ulster unit. She's different from the replicas I knew back home. Nothing like my teachers or the Black Wart Protector. I know she didn't have a choice, but it feels like she's also here because she didn't fit in. It's like we've run away from the world together. At first, I didn't like having someone around, and I was glad that she was quiet and didn't approach me. But lately, I've missed having someone I can talk to. It's been so long since I've last seen another person. I never thought I'd miss it. Except her, everything is the same in here, always. Nothing ever changes. Penrose briefing, phase 3. Start of decrypted transmission. Congratulations, comrade. You've survived 3,000 cycles, reaching the final phase of the Penrose program. With the end of the operational lifetime of your replica unit approaching, it is time to prepare for the final phase of your mission. If you have not found a suitable world for landing by this point, accept that you will not. Find solace in the thought that others might be successful where you failed. As you are probably aware, your ship's spare parts and rations will soon be depleted. Life support systems and reactor shielding will soon begin to fail, and radiation may begin to leak from the cooling system. We recommend you do not attempt to prolong your suffering by reusing old filters or rationing supplies. Instead, make peace with your fate. We suggest that you ask your replica, while it is still functional, to spare you a slow and agonizing death, or that you take permanent rest in the cryogenic pod. Remember, you will die having served your nation by partaking in a glorious demonstration of our power. End of decrypted transmission. I'm here because the stream is early, so I'm grateful. Well, I'm glad. Now that you beat her, I feel like it's okay to say this. The flare gun one-shots her every phase, making the... God damn it, I should have just tried that. I should have just tried that. I should have just done that. Oh well. I just wasn't sure if I could go down there or not, because I didn't try. Okay. Cycle, Cycle 1294. Had a strange dream. I was listening to the radio with my mother. Like back then, the numbers were on, and Mother was taking notes with a book on her lap. It was that book I saw in the shop window of the bookstore where the twins lived, the one with a yellow hooded figure on the cover. When I went there to buy it, it was gone, and Erica said the protectors had confiscated it. Or was it Isa? I can't remember. Cycle 1840. Everything is always the same. I feel like I'm trapped inside this ship. I know every bolt on every panel in every room of it. I've seen everything. I've done everything there is to do in here. I can't concentrate on anything. It's like there's this fog inside my head, and whenever I try to do anything, I just can't focus. I want to go outside. I want to breathe fresh air. I want to feel wind on my face and in my hair. Cycle 2503. I think I lost more hair. I'm sitting here, getting older. Every time I wake up, I feel older, weaker, sicker. I get out of breath so easily lately, and my back hurts when I sit down. How much longer will this go on? Feels like I'm just slowly dying. Poor Ariam. Cycle 59. I'm tired of it all. Every time I go to sleep, I wonder if I'll wake up again. I'm scared that it'll be the last time I said goodnight to her. Did I say it right? Will she be okay? What if one of us just won't wake up tomorrow? Cycle 5400. I don't want to die. I don't want to live anymore either. Everything is just so exhausting. I just want to lie down and disappear. Cycle, I just want to sleep. Please, just let me sleep. Please, just make it stop. Please. This hurts my heart. I couldn't keep my promise. Despite my best efforts, I eventually fell ill too. It had to end this way. It's so sad. It's time. This is all that's left. Go home. I wonder which ending we got. Remember our promise. Ulster. I can't do it. You have to do it. It's time for this to end. Please. Oh, we got my favorite ending. But it hurt so much. I'm sorry. Thank you. Ulster remembered her promise with Ariane. But it hurts. It hurts so much. They don't get their happy ending. Just two girls. Two girls in love who can... There's no happy ending for them. There's no happy ending for anyone in this game. But I think it's a really beautiful story. But I also like sad stories. Alright. Well, that's Signalis. I know most of you watching have already played the game. So you already knew it was coming. Well, you didn't know if this specifically was coming because there's three main endings you can get. I'm so lucky and I'm so happy that I got my favorite ending. This is probably the ending most people would consider like canon. It's the promise ending. There's also the other ending a lot of people get is one where Ariane can't remember their promise. Ariane and Ulster, neither of them can remember the promise. So Ariane remains living forever in the cryopod, while Ulster simply dies next to her. And Ariane is just left suffering forever. which is so sad. So sad. There is a third ending. So I can't quite remember fully off the top of my head, but I want to say it's Ulster can't bring herself to enter the Penrose 5112. So instead she turns around and simply leaves, which is obviously like the worst case scenario. And of course there's the secret hidden ending, which is a real trip. There's like a little altar filled with Ulster's bodies, and there's like little relics placed around the altar, and in the sky, when Ulster finishes the altar, a giant red eye appears in the sky, but it's not like a monstrous eye or anything. It looks like Ariane's eye, with the implication being that Ariane's special powers have essentially taken the form of the Red Eye, which was like the folk story from Rotferent, where she lived. And, you know, the Red Eye you see throughout the game, like on the monitors and stuff, the implication there being that Ariane watching Ulster through the cameras and through the TVs. Is that canon? I don't know, but it's a common theory, and it's hard not to think that. That's the happy ending, Yuri. Everyone gets a bad ending, so the game is fair. Yeah. I'm just happy that at least at the very end they got to be together again, even if it wasn't for very long. Tragic Yuri strikes again. Yes. So, you know, I'm just going to continue talking about the lore. Would have been nice if I wrote out some notes or something, but I just didn't really have time for that. I'm sorry. So basically, my theory for what happens in the game is after Ariane... Okay, well, we know from the notes that Ariane has very strong powers. Like the same powers that are used to create the replicas, to implant the replicas with the memories of the Gestalts, right? We know this because it's in the notes, and it explains that throughout the game. Hello, how are you doing today? So what I think happens is after Ariane enters the pod, like she's still alive. She's still alive in the cryopod, obviously. But perhaps from like the radiation poisoning from the ship falling apart, she kind of mutates, and the cryopod and her powers don't let her die. So instead she maybe like becomes part of the Penrose 5112, kind of, sort of, in a way. And so her powers let her theoretically overwrite people's memories, right? Again, from the notes, because that's how they create the replicas. They're overwriting the memories of the replicas with the Gestalt memory template. All right. So Ariane has begun subconsciously overwriting the memories of the people on the Sierpinski S21, because that's where the Penrose 5112 crash landed, was near the Sierpinski S21. That's not where the Penrose 5112 started. It crash lands after Ariane enters the cryopod, right? And then the original Ulster dies in their bedroom at some point, either before or after the crash. Probably before the crash. We don't really know for sure, I don't think. So they crash land. Ariane's mutating. Falca discovers the crash site of the Penrose 5112. She goes to discover it, and while she's investigating, her memories are overwritten with the memories of the original Ulster, but because Falca isn't an Ulster unit, it's not fully compatible, and she ends up in that like comatose state. Not immediately, obviously, because you can see in Adler's diary that she was acting strange, and it was like a gradual thing. So eventually she can just no longer, she just becomes so confused about who she is. And she goes into a coma. And that's when the so-called loop begins, the time loop. But I don't think it's a time loop at all. I think it's time passing in the way it always does. And simply their memories, the memories of the crew of the Sierpinski S-21 are simply being rewritten over and over from between like certain dates, like the first couple, I don't remember the exact time period, but just like their memories from certain weeks are being rewritten over their memory over and over. And some of them notice the inconsistencies because their memories aren't being completely overwritten, or they're finding evidence of things that happened that they don't remember. And you're like, well, this is weird. Like, that's seen in Adler, and that's seen in some of the notes left by some of the replicas in the ship, like in their rooms, in their diaries. You can see them saying, "This is strange. I don't remember this. This person is acting weird." So Ariane is probably not intentionally, just sort of like her powers are out of control, overriding their memories. And I think she was also overriding the memories of replicas. We see this in like the first fake out ending, where you're looking for Alina So, and in Alina So's notes, her hair is turning white, and she's remembering things about Elster that maybe didn't happen to her in Elster, but did happen to Ariane in Elster. And similarly, at the start of the game, Elster has a photo, and she's looking for Ariane, not Alina So. But after the prologue, she's looking for Alina So, who, by the way, was it? Yeah, okay. So it was Alina So is the person that Ariane is mentioning in some of her notes, the military officer. She's like, we look so similar. And so we can kind of assume that at some point Alina So was stationed on the Sierpinski S-21, or perhaps was asked to investigate it. All the weird shit happening. And she came there to investigate. But her memories were overwritten with a copy of Ariane's. And in that lineup, in that first ending, you see a lineup of girls who look like Ariane Young. So from that we can kind of assume that Alina wasn't the only replica whose memories were overwritten, but possibly the memories of other replicas who were aboard the Sierpinski S-21 at the time that this was all going on. Their memories were overwritten with Ariane's, and their physical appearances started to morph into hers. I'm sorry, this is probably kind of confusing to explain because I didn't have it like mapped out beforehand. But I'm trying my best. I hope that makes at least some sense. So, to summarize, Alina is using her very strong powers that have kind of mutated to overwrite the memories of the people of the Sierpinski S-21 to recreate people from her memory, and just also overwrite. Okay, so she's overwriting the memory of people in replicas whose memories are compatible with her memories. And the people whose memories aren't compatible with hers, she kind of has them just repeating a generic loop, kind of, if that makes sense. Like Adler. I don't think she's putting anyone weird's memories into Adler. I think she has him stuck in a loop, along with some of the generic replicas. I did not expect the big sad today. I'm so sorry. This is a very sad game. Sounds like something humanity would do, honestly. Yeah, probably. Okay, where's my thought? I lost it. I lost my thought. Give me a moment here. It would if my brain works. I'm sorry. So, okay. I think part of it was Ariane. Okay, no. Okay, yeah. I remember what I was going to say. So, the Isolde we see during the game, I don't think that was the actual Issa, because as we saw in like the last final section of the game, there's the altar, the death altar for the twins. And I think Issa and her sister Erica have been dead for a long time. And I think the person we see as Issa in the game, also with the symbolism of the missing eye, was actually their relative. I can't remember what her name is off the top of my head, but we see her in one of the photos that also has Alina So in it. So I think that was maybe somebody who came to investigate the Sierpinski S-21, and because she was compatible with Issa's memories, with Ariane's memories of Issa, her identity, her physical appearance, and her memories were overwritten to become Issa's. And I think that's what was happening. And obviously, this relative didn't have like a twin sister who came with her, so she's like stuck looking for Erica, and Erica who doesn't exist anymore. That's what I think was happening there. And why is Ariane doing this? I don't think she has any control of it. But I do think Ulster's strong will to find Ariane and complete their promise was like a subconscious thing on Ariane's part from wanting to be set free. Her strong will to no longer be just suffering eternally made her keep overwriting Ulster over and over and over, and that's why we see all the Ulster bodies. But of course, Ulster is just like a repair unit and not a combat unit or a survival unit or anything like that. So she just keeps failing. And also, Adler is just like, this is some crazy ass bullshit. I don't like you. You're doing some weird shit. I'm gonna keep putting you down. And it just makes things worse and sad. And maybe Adler even knew somehow that Falca's memories were overwritten with Ulster's at some point, and he just gets more violent towards Ulster. Because he is the one pushing her bodies down the elevator shaft all those times. Stuck in a loop, Yuri is getting over it, and I'm getting overwritten by myself. I feel the passion for this game losing one of my screen speakers right now. I'm glad you can tell, because I really enjoy this game. And I also enjoy like pausing frames on videos to go back and like translate the German and stuff that was popping up on screen, so I could figure out like little bits of extra lore. There's not like any huge secrets hidden in there other than the codes for the secret ending, but you know, it was still interesting. Like, you can translate the song that the Colibri are singing. It's pretty ominous. Songs about like a red moon and stuff. All right, let's take a pause to actually look at the results screen now. Time saved 74 sounds about right. Time started 5. That's a lie, because I soft loaded a few times, I think. It doesn't seem accurate. I died way more than 5 times. Average time between saves, 7 minutes, yeah. Death cheated 4. Probably more than that. Only killed 56 enemies. Shots fired, yes. Okay. Hold any key to continue. Okay. Healing. Yuri never made it to the end of the war. Okay, this just takes us back here. I don't think there's anything extra in here. Okay, give me a moment here to ponder if there's any weird theories I haven't given you yet. I think I somehow managed to cover that all in an hour because we got through the boss fight faster than I expected. Okay, let me address chat. Is there anything in the lore that did not make sense to you or that you were confused about, and maybe that would be like a good jumping point, and I'd be able to think of something I forgot. Oh yeah, and there's also a note that kind of explains that they lost the data for the Gestalt memory data for the original Ulster unit, or like the current one, and they had to start using a backup Ulster unit's memory data from the Penrose program. So at some point, they were also intentionally overwriting the Ulster replica unit's memories with the memory data of the Penrose 5112 Ulster, which is the one that loved Ariane. So that's interesting. And I believe it's also said that there wasn't originally an Ulster unit on the Sierpinski S-21. So it's possible that maybe as the Ulster unit's memories were being created, like the current run of them, they were just bringing themselves to the Penrose 5112 to find Ariane. And they didn't necessarily start off inside the facility. Are you winning, son? I already beat the final boss and explained my crack shot theories. Somehow I managed to get it done in like an hour, which is kind of spoopy. Why did humanity start all this? So it's not exactly clear, but it goes back to the first person, the Empress, the Emperor, whatever her name was, I believe, who was like the first person to get these psychic powers. And she was basically just a dictator, okay? And I think she was probably using the replicas because they were easy to control. You know? Just soldiers who aren't really human, who are disposable, and who won't fight back necessarily because they're not like normal people with normal human rights. So she was slowly replacing the Gestalts with like replicas, and the normal humans with Gestalts and replicas, I guess. That's just like an implication. It's not fully clear. If there's ever a DLC, maybe we'll find out more. We'll have more of a clear answer. Good night, Sir Axa. Thank you for stopping by when you could. I hope I didn't make you too sad. And so the game takes place after a revolution has started, right? So it's kind of confusing. It's not immediately clear unless you're reading really closely. But let me see if I can find the names, just as an example. There's like the nation, and there's also the Yusan nation. And these are two separate entities, okay? I believe the Empress lady is from the Yusan nation. And our game takes place in the nation, I think. Something along those lines. I'm not sad anymore. Okay, I'm glad. Okay. It's a little confusing because I'm doing this one off the top of my head. Because I found like the detangling the political faction part the most confusing because there's just not enough information on them in the game itself. There's some, but it's a little vague, and some of them just aren't very fleshed out intentionally or unintentionally. And so the rebel people are just like, yo, fuck the Empress and her daughter, they're fucking evil. But they're also not all that great at the same time. Or actually, it might have been the other way around. This takes place in the Empress's Yusan nation, and the spy was from the nation or the empire or whatever. I don't know. It's confusing. You need like a fucking whiteboard with markers and shit. Okay, there's TLDR. There's a dictator who wanted to control shit and live forever and just be the eternal dictator. And then there's the other people, and they were like, yo, that's fucked up. We want some freedom. And the dictator lady was the one who was like, replicas. good tools. Let's replace people with these tools. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Because that's a difficult part to untangle. There's just not enough info in the game. So there's also the photo of the people from the war and the medical files, and from those we can kind of assume that they are like the templates for the replicas, which is kind of interesting because we know based on the timeline of like Alina So and them that those are fairly recent photos, and we also know that the Penrose 5112 crashing into the Sierpinski S23 or S21 or whatever, it doesn't take that long to happen. Like, this is only over the course of a few years. So Ariane sees the photo of Alina So before leaving on the Penrose program. She leaves. She's 16 when she leaves on the Penrose, okay? We don't know how long a light cycle is specifically, but we can assume that like a couple hundred light cycles is like a year. We just don't know how many. So she's gone for a few years. She falls in love with Ulster. The ship begins to fail. She becomes sick. And then a few years after that, or a few months after that, the ship crashes on the Sierpinski S21, which is on Rotfront, I believe. I don't remember exactly. I have a question now that you've finished. You know, there was a line of a book where the MC does something like that. Yeah, probably. Easiest way to explain Signalis or shit's fucked up. So true. I joked about it before, but is there any ending changes tied to repeatedly looking at the photo like there is in Silent Hill? So the endings are tied to really weird point values, and some of them are based on actions that seem a little silly, but I'm not sure if that specifically is one. But it could be. It's based on like player behavior. Unless they changed it in the latest update. I'm a little surprised I got the promise ending. But I'm happy I got it. But I don't know how I got it. If we don't know, that could be a very long time. There's some systems out there. Yeah. I had a reason for thinking it was only a couple years. And that's mainly, I think, the main reason is just because of Alina So. And, Lilith, what's her name? The relative of Issa and Erica. Both being relatively young looking still. I think that was the basis for assuming that the light cycles, a couple hundred light cycles, is only like a year. Like, I thought pretty hard and long about that. If it's got that spirit in general, I'm happy. It does. I love esoteric counters that change how games end. Yeah. Yeah, no, there's some arbitrary stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the stuff prior to the game only takes place over like less than a decade, if that makes sense. Hello, Rihito. How are you doing today? Good morning from my isekai. Good morning. So, I did originally think that the ship crash was like a decade or 2 decades or something after Ariane got sick, but then it just didn't make sense in the timeline because we know for sure that Alina So is there by the end of the first ending, but also between the first ending, like the fake out ending, and the start of the second half of the game, though, we do know that like a significant amount of time has passed. We just don't know how long. You can probably kind of guess from Adler's notes, maybe, how long has passed. but I didn't do that calculation because that was a lot of work. It was already a lot of work figuring out the timeline of the game before it started to the start of the game, if that makes sense. For all we know, the start of the game, like the prologue, up to where we get the first fake out ending, where we first go to the Red Gate, that could only be like maybe a couple weeks or days or months after the Penrose 5112 crashes. And then the time skip where we see Ulster ripping an arm off an old Ulster unit and crawling out of the corpses and the garbage. That could be a few years later for all we know. The timeline's really not clear, and I do think that's by design. But it's interesting to think about it. We don't really know when the game ends. Or no, actually, okay, no. I lied. We do kind of have an indicator, and that is Issa. Because Issa is there when we see Alina So in that section of the game before the first ending. We know Issa is there. And she's also there in the second half of the game. So technically it could have still been a few years, but more likely it was like a few weeks or a few months. So you can assume that from start to finish, the time period the game takes place in isn't that long. We also aren't super clear on how long each cycle is. I'm sorry for the conspiracy theories. I just woke up and thinking about finding new OC on random streams. Well, good morning. Sounds like a fun hobby. Hello, Emmanuel. How are you doing today? Why do I sense a feeling that this game will have a different atmosphere? What do you mean, like, a different atmosphere? I personally really enjoyed the game, like, a crazy amount. The story was something very special for me. Just the way it was written, and the characters. And I love a good mystery. I've been sitting here for, like, 40 minutes talking about conspiracy theories about the lore. I don't do that for the vast majority of games that I play. Alright, I've actually been talking so much, so constantly, that my throat is starting to get a little sore and dry. So if we don't have any more questions about the game, I'm gonna give myself a break, and we will end the stream here, and we will be back on Tuesday with Elden Ring. Good night. If you're hungry, go get something to eat. If you're thirsty, go get something to drink. Literally me, IRL. If you're tired, go get some sleep. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday. And thank you if you stuck with me from start to finish on Signalis. See you on Tuesday. If I can find my mouse. Oh, it's locked to the game. Oh, what do you like most about the game? I like the story. It kept me thinking. It kept me on my toes. It kept me guessing. Alright, I speedran the answer. I mean, like, a dark atmosphere. It has an extremely dark atmosphere. We just finished the game, and it gave some people who didn't know the ending, it just made them sad. Thanks for the long streams. Yeah, that was fun. I'm glad we managed to play it from start to finish on stream. And I hope I can find more games like this I can play and voice act for you guys.